It's KDAY Morning Show. Cece
Yes.
and Romeo got the homie man been doing his thing for a long time,
Yes,
and so
he
have
has.
we. We got history in this game. Noel G, what up, player?
What up, what up? How you guys doing, man? Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
all
man.
love. Got to throw that out there. Mandatory.
Okay.
I look at you and I just think about the times we bumped into each other in the clubs back in the day, and just, you know,
I know, right?
we got history people don't really know about.
Right. No, I think we've been arrested together.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, let it be known. Let it be known. Don't
Why
talk
you
in
gotta
codes.
bring that
Just
up?
some time
Talking
together,
cold.
you know?
Yo, man, been doing this since '99. Now you got a new movie dropping. How does it feel to be in the game for so long and still doing it?
Man, it's love. You know, it's just a blessing to stay busy in what you love doing. You know what I mean? And you always hear the famous saying, you know, it's not work if you love what you're doing. So long story short, man, it's just, you know, it's a fun life. You know, it's a fun job because you never work in the same place. You always work with different people. It's never the same thing that you're coming to. So for reasons like that, it's just an exciting job. You know what I mean? Because you never know what you're going to get on the day. So I love it, man. It's cool. It's fun. And it's just kind of funny, you know, you always know when you're going to start, but you never know when you're going to end. You just show up and do, you know, so it's hella cool. But, you know, 30 years, I've been doing it since TV was black and white. So, you know, I've been doing it 30 years, man. So I hope to, you know, I hope to just keep on working and stay busy, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Talk to us about this new movie that just came out.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. So, you know, when you first start in something, you never know where it could take you from there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I first started off as an actor, and then it was cool. Just as I started being on set after set, I was like, damn, I could make one of these films myself. And so I started getting into producing. And so produced my first movie called Ditch Party, which has an anti-bullying message, you know, that has a positive message or whatever. And then did my second film, which is called Psychopath, with Rampage Jackson and Kasim Osgood. And we brought back Todd Bridges in the joint. Got him doing a little cameo, you know, he up in there. And, you know, long story short, man, it's out right now. So it's a blessing to be behind the camera now and kind of see how things work that way. So I'm just trying to put my hands in every cookie jar I can.
As you should, man. You got to do that. But let's go through some of your history. Like a couple of movies that stand out. Obviously, you got to talk about the one with Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? When you got that role, what kind of impact did that have on you?
It was a blessing, man, because that's kind of what kicked off the roller coaster, to be real with you. You know what I mean? It was kind of Training Day that kind of, quote unquote, put me on the map or whatever and made it easier to get more jobs after that. So after Training Day kicked off, that was just kind of where, you know, phones started ringing a lot more. Checks started clearing. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, we cool here. But I only been to college once, and that was to drop somebody off. So, but long story short, man, like Training Day just kind of kicked everything off. And then, you know, then after that, Bruce Almighty and, you know, The Purge and other things and TV shows and commercials. So that was pretty much it, man. Just, you know, I can't be mad. You know what I'm saying? But I complain. Nobody listens anyways.
Okay, I got an intriguing question.
Go ahead.
Denzel called you or Jim Carrey called you because you work with both, and I know one's a comedian. I know one's, you know what Denzel does. But if they call you in the same day, say we want you for this movie, who would you do it with?
Oh man, you got to put me on the spot like that. I got to pick one of the two.
You got to pick one.
There's no C, none of the above.
No, you got to pick one.
You guys are rough over here, man. Cece and Romeo don't play.
We're waiting for your answer.
I'm trying to change subjects. I'm trying to change subjects, man. I was like, man, but you've been in the radio game for a long time, though.
See, there you go. He didn't answer. He didn't answer the question.
I put some bait on the hook, man. Come on. I can fish, too, you know what I'm saying?
We've been in the radio game for a long time.
Yeah, you trying to ruin a career in a day, man. I'm playing, man.
But, Noel,
what's up?
About this new movie, what's the name of it? What's it called? Tell me, like, what's the concept of it?
So, you know, to be real with you, it's like, you know the saying, sometimes you got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do. So, Psychopath, just to be 100% honest, it's a horror movie. So if you're not a fan of Halloween or Friday the 13th.
I'm a horror, I love horror films.
Are you a fan of Friday the 13th, Halloween? Then you should love this movie.
Okay,
because my point that I was going to make is if you're not a fan of Halloween or Friday the 13th, then this is a movie you probably would not like.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to be straight up
But there's
and straight
a lot
out.
of horror fans out there that would love to watch this film, yes.
That's what I'm saying. And our secret ingredient special sauce is that we have a black serial killer. killer. So a lot of the movies you see
never
is always some
happens.
white man killing. And, you know,
Yes.
white people crazy. They put parts in refrigerators and cook them up in chili contests and win. And no, I'm playing.
It's
But
usually the black man gets killed first. Now he's a serial killer.
that's
What's
what I'm
going
saying.
on?
The black guy
He's
lives
getting
in
his
this
revenge.
movie. That's what
In
I'm
psychopath.
That's what I'm saying, man. So the special ingredient, special sauce is that, you know. So that's what makes it a little different. But other than
Okay.
that, it's, you know, it's kind of like a Friday. The way it kicked off, and I'll keep this real short commercial version, is Rampage wanted to do a remake of Fast and the Furious, and so he goes off and on about, you know, action scenes and blow up cars and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, we could shoot that. You got $20 million to shoot it? And he kind of. And it was like, yeah, I was like, why don't we shoot a horror movie? That's why I made the comment of sometimes you got to do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do.
Yep.
I said, why don't we make a horror movie first, generate some money off of that, and then we can reinvest it into a bigger film, because I believe that every film should be better than your last.
Absolutely.
As a producer, though,
Right.
you know, I'm an actor. So, you know, if they call me up and say act in a movie, I'll go act in the movie all day long, because
Right,
that
get
is
that
what
money.
it is.
He's like, cut the check.
But if I'm going to do it on a producer side, you know, I want it to at least carry some weight where I want quality over quantity.
Right.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, that's just that to clear that up.
Okay, cool. Now,
Yeah.
I got to ask you this. Would
Oh,
you
here
like-
we
would
go.
you say
Another.
that- No, but this is a legit one, though.
You don't play, though. All right.
Your career path.
What you get me
Do you
into, Goonster?
Your career
Okay.
path. Do you think it saved you from the streets?
Most definitely, 100%.
Okay.
I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you a funny story. You know where I knew the day. Why am I stuttering?
It's okay. You're still nervous
Because we're
about that
talking about the
question.
streets right now.
Yeah, no,
He's
I
like,
know.
hold on.
I'm like, hold up, man. Does radio come with subtitles?
Oh.
No, I was like, so hold up. When it's kind of funny, right? So this is how I knew my life changed, and you know, I'm just gonna keep it 100. So I'm not saying I was the craziest dude in the streets, blah blah
Right.
blah. I'm just saying, been there, done that. You know, done some things, been arrested before, whatever. Nothing to be proud of. Again, I'm not the craziest dude. I'm just saying, been there, done that,
Right.
and I've experienced that, whatever. The day I knew that my life changed, it was kind of funny, is when I did Fast and the Furious. It's
Okay.
when I got my first big, fattest check. And how I knew my life changed was, I never forget it. I've been going to the same bank for like 6-7 years.
Right.
Same bank. 6-7 years when I was working at Kmart, Olive Garden, Denny's, all those places.
Ooh.
Shout out to him cutting you them checks back in the
Yeah,
day.
shout out to Danny's.
I was busboy at
Late
Denny's,
night.
man. I used to wipe tables, all that, eat the food in the back. And long story short, man, it was so crazy, right? I never forget when I did Fast and the Furious and got my first big, fattest check ever in my life.
Yeah.
I go to the bank. Same bank I've been going to for 7-6 years, whatever. And all of a sudden, the girl at the window goes, "Oh, you're depositing this check?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "You got a financial advisor?" I said, "No, I don't got a financial advisor." She goes, "Yeah, you should go in the back and talk to a financial advisor." And all of a sudden, the bank manager comes and introduces himself, and this other person comes
They bring
and
you
introduce-
water, too? No, I'm
And
just
they,
kidding.
they probably brought me. Well, they did
Yeah.
bring me water, you know, back there, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And it was funny. And I'm looking at all of them. I let them give me their, you know, their story or whatever. And I was like, "You guys are funny." I go, "I've been coming to this bank for 6-7 years, man, cashing my small checks. All of a sudden, I'm cashing a big check.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the president gonna come out, the manager gonna come out, the assistant manager gonna
They
come out,
looking at you
and all of you
different.
want to introduce her." I go, "Get the hell up out of here, all y'all out of my face." I
Wow.
was like, "Deposit my check, and I'm out." And I was like so shady,
Oh
but I
my
was like,
God.
but when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is how it goes when you make money."
It's
I'm like,
different.
that's the change. Like, you know what I mean? It's different. So, anyways, my point with that is that's where I never had to do crime again in my life
There you
because
go.
I didn't need to,
Right.
because I got a fat check where I no longer had to steal to make money. And before I made that type of money, just keeping it honest, you know, I used to rob houses, rent cars without asking people, do all kinds of things, you know, and I, you know, that's what I did some time for. I got a strike for. And long story short, man, so in that way, it
Yeah.
saved my life out of the streets,
There
you
you
know,
go.
but yeah, so that was in that way that it saved me.
And it's very
Yeah.
important. That's a message people need to hear. Like, there's hope. You know what I'm saying? And, like, look, we've all got skeletons in our closets to some degree. That
Right.
we go
I
through.
don't.
So,
We got a clean one here. We got a clean one.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm playing with you guys.
See, the mics are off. Now what is no? Hold on. Now let's get into some real interview stuff.
No.
No, I'm playing.
and with that being said, you ever thought about making your life story a movie? I mean, because it's a testimony within itself.
and not
Yeah.
even that. There's a lot of juicy stuff in your life.
She knows a little
I
bit.
know.
so-
I know a little bit, and it's
know,
juicy
right?
as.
Yeah.
So that would be a great movie.
I know, right? You
ever thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I've talked to some people in the movie business, and it's kind of crazy for the simple fact that, my life is just a little bit hard because I'm an actor. And so you have to get the rights to certain things. So if you were to show the acting element side of it, that would be a little difficult to show. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's been talked about. It's been discussed. I've been thinking about a book, making my own movie, stuff like that. But I think that's a little later down the road because my life ain't over yet.
No, it ain't over yet.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but no, I feel you though. But maybe like a part 1 and a part 2 later or whatever. But
That's what's
yeah, it's
Dude,
it's being
honestly
kicked around.
I'd be so interested in watching it because I just know it'd be so juicy and it'd have so many plots and twists.
It's being kicked around in my head. Yeah,
He's like, everybody else wants me to make a movie about my life, but I'm like,
I thought about it. I thought about it.
right, exactly.
Some things I should not talk about ever. I got it.
Some
Yo,
things,
man.
just keep it on the wraps. You feel me?
Well, look, man, congratulations on all the success. We appreciate
Absolutely.
you coming through, bro. Like, you know what? It's good to see you still grinding. Like, all of us. Life, the world has changed so drastically now, but we still in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, man. And I got mad love for the both of you, man. You guys are awesome as heck, man. Thank you for always having me, on the radio, whatever. And I'd always say, my last words, I always say, God first and the rest will work itself out.
That's dope.
Never claim perfect, none of that. But, and I tell people this last thing too. The only way you can fail in life is if you quit in life. So if you never quit, you're never going to fail. It took me 8 years to get my first movie. So this was no walk in the park. It was no easy walk, no duck walk. It took me 8 years to get my first movie. And I always think about this. If I would have quit on that 7th year because I said enough, throw in the towel, man, I'm done with this. It's not
Right.
working out. I always think, man, if I would have quit on that 7th year and not got to that 8th year where I first got my first movie, where would I be today?
That's
And I'd probably be locked up, dead, or whatever, the story. So anyways, man, I just tell people, keep grinding, keep pushing, keep moving forward. And this last thing, and I swear I'm done, is I worked in a convalescent home. And it was when I was 19 years old, I believe, 18 or 19. And they asked everybody over 65 years old, if you could go back and change something about your life, what would you have done differently? And over 83% of the people that were over 65 years old said they would have took more risks and challenges in their life because now they're sitting there 65 and older wondering, could have I been on that radio station? Could have I been in that movie?
Yeah.
Could have I started that clothing line? Could have I owned that business? Could have I became a doctor? So you got to take more risk. You got to take more challenges. You got to go out there, grind, push hard. And nothing's handed to us on a silver platter, man. So you just got to go out there and take what's yours.
Damn.
Well said.
He
Well
came in
said.
with
There
some
it
knowledge.
is.
Okay.
So
Pastor Noel, in Jesus' name, amen. Let's go.
that's what's up, man. Love you guys.
Oh.